We're on! Yes! I've been waiting for a girl like you to come into my life. Everybody, I'm here with Heather! And she's gonna be my model today. We're gonna do some midnight rose color on her, and what's very special about her is she's Vietnamese too, like me! So tell us a little bit about yourself. Take it away. We all need to know.
Yes, so my name is Heather. I was born with
dark hair.
So today, Guy told me I'm gonna be going for a midnight rose color. So I'm super nervous, a little bit excited too.
You're part-time modeling, right?
Yes, and I'm also a health professional as my day job. So you have to kind of stay in
basic,
normal.
boring, or
your natural hair color.
I feel like that's not fair. Like everybody else gets to color their hair, but if you're like a certain ethnicity, then no, you need to be authentic. You need to stay authentic and natural. I was like, that's not right. I wear different color contacts. I change my hair color up, and I think you should be able to too, right?
I agree.
We gotta break stereotypes. There's too many.
Let's do it.
Yeah, stereotypes is not sexy, okay? So we gotta move forward, give you some new color. I'm gonna make you sit down, and we're gonna make you break stereotypes. They want you to be like Mulan black. Certain type of eyes, certain type of hair. You know, Asians come in different shapes and sizes too. We're gonna move this chair up so you guys get to take a good look at her. And we're gonna start mixing the midnight rose color, because sometimes we get a little too serious here, all right? So let's get started on this. So I'm gonna use Midnight Rose level 6 on her. Even though she has a lot of virgin hair going on throughout here, I still have to level it. So I like to use 10 volume at the routage, and I go into 20 or 30 volume. And the reason why is because if you use 20 volume and just put that over her whole entire head, what's gonna happen is she's gonna get like what we call hot roots or bright scalp, and then all of a sudden the ends will get not as much brightness. So in order to level it, especially when doing reds, you have to do 10, 20. To be more dramatic, you could go from 10 to 30. So my first formula is 6MR Midnight Rose. I'm gonna mix my first formulation here. So we're gonna have about 50 grams, and I'm gonna use Mydentity 10 volume. Okay, I'm gonna be very anal with you guys, right? It's very important to use the dedicated developer, and the reason why is because it's designated to work with the color. Because if you're using different brands developer, they may have more buffers in them. And by buffers, I mean like oils and emollients and all these extra stuff. And what that can do is hinder the color deposit. No, I'm not trying to sell you the developer. I'm just telling you the truth because I work with a chemist and I tested multiple swatches with different developers, with different brands using the same color, and they all come out differently. I'm telling you this from a hair bestie to another, and you will see the same color tube with different developer from different brands using the same 10 volume, they'll all come out differently. Trust me. So here we go, we're gonna mix it equal parts with the permanent color. Always mix it first with a whisk. This is gonna be her routage formula. I feel like it's important too with ash colors to use like 20 volume on the scalp and then shift into a 30 volume. Just because sometimes the routage can be a little hot up there, and then you're not gonna get the right ash deposit. So leveling is important, okay? And I'm gonna introduce my friend, Nora. Nora, come in.
Hi.
Nora's our Tang Mydentity artist, and she's gonna help me apply the color. So we're gonna apply 6MR with 10 volume to her routage right now. So you'll see us apply about 1.5 inches off, okay? So I always divide the hair into 4 quadrants first, just like this, and then I go in and I could trace my pattern all the way. Heather, tell us a little bit more.
Probably about like 10 years ago, but I decided to go into the health field and pursue that, and now I graduated from grad school. I kind of want to get back into the modeling scene. And
that's why you're here.
Yeah.
You're here with me today. You're doing hair modeling.
Like sometimes when they're casting for an Asian, they want a specific type of look that is either like super ethnic looking.
What does that even mean?
I know.
Do I look super ethnic? Do you look super ethnic? I don't even know what that means. So it's more like a stereotypical image of what people want to see you to be. Yeah. And I think that goes back full circle to Mydentity. And that's what this line is about, is that it's about knowing who you are. We're all different. Even though we may be in the same group of ethnicity or same group of a category, we all have our own identity. And I feel like I wish more people embrace and celebrate the differences versus trying to put us all into this category category and say we should look this way. I mean, you would think by now that we should celebrate the differences. You're here today because I celebrate your differences, and I think we're gonna be hair besties and beyond from here on out. What do you think, Heather?
Yes, awesome.
So you're also 29.
I am.
How's the stereotype with being 29 years old and modeling?
That you're kind of too, I don't know, like you're past your prime, basically.
Like, you need to not model right now. Like, you're done. Is that how they see it?
Exactly. I'm retired.
Honestly, you look great, and I feel like we should just love everybody for what they is. Nora, tell us your story to the fullest.
I mean, one thing that I kind of like is that most people can't guess where I'm from. Like when you are a mixture of things and for people to not judge you for what they think you are. So I kind of get all sorts of different ethnicities, and I kind of like being able to look all sorts of different, you know, cultures and things like that. But listening to your story, I was actually wondering, do you think in like the culture, they don't want you to get into modeling and they'd prefer you go to school because that's what you're supposed to do?
Yeah, like that's how my parents were at first. Well, actually, these still kind of are. Sorry, Mom and Dad.
Sorry, we love you, Mom and Dad, if you're watching.
But hey, I'm done. I'm done with grad school, so now I can do whatever I want.
That's so funny.
Exactly.
Just don't let your parents watch this video.
I'm dyeing my hair red. So,
Yes. So that would be going against everything, right?
Yes.
I feel the same. Like my culture was kind of like, oh, you should go to school. Like you're not going to be successful unless you go to school. And they were like, oh, you can't do hair. Like you know, that's considered like not a high class profession, you know, like you have to go to university or something.
Oh my gosh, right?
Yeah,
Like,
but in the end,
I feel like being a hairstylist, people don't take you seriously. Like, oh, you're just doing hair, that's it?
like it's not a real job.
Like it's not a real job. I feel like, hello, we have to understand the science. We have to know what we're doing with the chemicals, if you will. I think that being a hairstylist, we should be proud of it. And now, I mean, I feel like we deserve respect just as much as anybody in any profession, you know?
Absolutely.
This red is gonna look really awesome on you. I think we're living in a time now that you can wear these colors and not be stereotyped or judged. I think it only takes one person to make the world move. It's having a different idea, a different thought, and not be scared by judgment and let that hold us back. A lot of times when our clients come in the salon, they want a change. They want to redefine their identity.
A lot of people from my culture cover their hair for religious reasons. And then so they'll say, well, why do they even want to bother doing their hair? Well, because they're doing it for themselves. They're doing it because it makes them feel good to try something like different, and it's not about making other people happy.
I like how you say that because I have my pink underwear on. I wear that underwear for me. I know I'm wearing it. I feel comfortable in it. I feel sexy in it. So it gives me confidence, even though nobody sees my underwear. But the same thing when you're talking about like you're wearing
the veil.
The veil.
They cover their hair for religious purposes, but they still want to feel beautiful and they still want to try the latest trends. And when they get together with like their friends and you know their family members, they get to show off that hair color, and it's like a present, like opening a surprise.
The thing is, a lot of people don't understand that because they don't live in that environment or that culture, and so I think it's important to be aware. I think when we're aware of our surroundings and what we're doing, we tend to be we widen our minds and not stereotype people, because that's where stereotype starts from. It's our lack of knowledge of understanding other cultures, and it all goes back into fashion and hair, because it feels like whether you have curly hair, you have a stereotype. Whether you have short hair, you have a stereotype, right? Like, oh, boys only like girls with long hair. I need to wear lots of extensions so I can be attractive or whatever, right? So it comes full circle that people might not take stereotypes as seriously, but this actually comes all back into fashion and what we do as hairstylists. For us to understand our clients and their hair, we have to be confident in all the hair types that may walk in our chair. All right, guys, so now we're mixing our second formula, and it's 6 MR still, so I'm gonna squeeze her out. 2 full tubes here, okay? With the second formulation, I either do 20 or 30, or you can mix them both together, so it's gonna become a 25 volume. You're gonna see me squeeze the 30 in first, okay? Just like so. 20 is gonna be more deep color deposition and less underlying pigment exposure. If you're gonna mix it pure 30, you're gonna get more underlying pigment exposure, and you tend to get a little bit less color deposit just because of the overriding the pigment type of situation. So I kind of want both. I want the vibrancy from the 30 volume, but I want the color deposition from the 20. And that's why you're seeing me mix the two together so I get an in-between. So I'm gonna squeeze in the 20 right now. We're gonna mix her in there. Okay, so this would be considered 25 volume. Stir in. I feel like, you know, lately a lot of people have been fearing reds, but I think red is very, very sexy. And a lot of people fear like, oh, it doesn't last long. It's how you take care of it. Everything fades, whether it's silver or blonde or a certain toner. We can't live our life in fear. Just put the color on your hair and stop worrying about the fadage. That's like saying, I don't want to live because I'm afraid I'm gonna die. Like, come on. Just worry about living. We gotta worry about living versus worrying about dying, if you know what I mean. So I'm comparing red hair to living and dying. Okay guys, I'm just trying to make a point here. Heather, do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
You get it, right?
So what can you do to keep your hair from fading then?
There's dry shampoo. You don't shampoo it every day. Don't jump in the pool because pool has chlorine water. Depending on where you live, sometimes there's hard water, soft water, all those things, the pH in your water can affect the longevity of these dyes, and not just Mydentity dyes, but any dyes, period. You know, nowadays we have to worry about what we eat, where we go, you know, the sun exposure, breathing in the air, you know, there's something everywhere. So I think that this is one of the things that we should celebrate in life. So,
Such a pretty
isn't it not? Yeah. Is it not? Did I put Olaplex?
Like frosting.
It is.
Like, looks.
Well, just don't eat it. We're gonna put Olaplex in now, and guys, don't put too much Olaplex. I feel like everybody wants to put this much in. No, that's too much. That's gonna affect color deposit, the lift of the lightener. I like to put this much when I'm doing a treatment at the shampoo bowl, but not when I'm doing the color. So less is more when you're using Olaplex with the color, okay? So stir the Olaplex in after you mix the color. All right, here we go. Ready or not, here I come. Okay, so we're gonna start applying the color in the back first. So I'm going in with a second formulation. And this is the 25 volume with 6MR Midnight Rose. Midnight Rose has like a black cherry color tonality. That's what I love about it. It has so much richness and so much depth. Nora, you're saying another thing that helps the color last longer was?
The temperature of the water that you wash your hair with. So you want to wash it with cool water and not hot. The hot water opens up the cuticle of the hair shaft, flushing out the color. So you want to try to rinse with cold water. I know it's tough. If you want a hot shower, clip your hair up and just let the hot water touch your body, not your hair. In the shower, I just keep my head back, and you know, it doesn't have to be ice cold, but just as long as it's not like super hot. And of course, the heating tools, even though this has that technology, the Mirror Style XHP, we don't want to like overly do anything.
I love that you brought that up, because even though you have the heat protection, it doesn't mean you still turn your iron up to 450, because you can still burn the hair, you can still fade the color. It's almost like if you have a shield and someone's hitting you with a sword.
I know what you're trying to say. Just because we have the protection there doesn't mean we're gonna have to push it beyond.
Exactly. So at this point here, you're seeing me just smudge in and blend the color through. So even though you could still kind of massage it and swish the first color in, it'll blend. I find that it blends even more seamlessly if you do it that way. So formulas, like you could put 5MR at the retouche and shift down to a 6MR. And most importantly, to let the color process for the full 30 minutes. So I'm just gonna do this throughout, and we're gonna come right back so you can see her transformation. Right here, right now. You look pretty hot. How do you feel?
I feel amazing. Like I love it. I love it so much. And it's not like too drastic, but it's like perfect enough to give me some more character, some more sultriness. Yes.
You found your Mydentity, I think.
I did.
I mean, look at how shiny. Like, I'm blinded by the shine.
Do you feel that's weird, that it's healthier now than before?
Like, you wouldn't think so, but it feels healthier and it looks like way healthy. Like,
amazing.
That shine is like black cherry. I'm obsessed. I know you're obsessed, and you're gonna be using it.
It's gorgeous.
Are you gonna stick with this color?
yes, I will. I love it. I love it. I felt a little bit muted with my old color, and this just kind of highlighted
who you is.
Yes, exactly.
Who she is.
It brought out your identity.
Yeah,
Identity.
and you're Asian, and you could be any color you want to be. You don't have to let stereotypes control you. Just because, you know, Mulan has black hair, don't mean you have to be Mulan. You don't have to just be a stereotype. You could just be anyone you want to be with Mydentity. I know you guys love it. Thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on Instagram, and you can stalk Nora as well. All the links will be below. Leave comments. Love you guys so much.